Have you ever wondered why some seniors seem to move with confidence while others live in fear of falling? It's a question that hits close to home for so many of us, whether you're a senior yourself, caring for aging parents, or just thinking about staying strong as you age. Falls are one of the leading causes of injury for adults over 65, and the stakes are high. A single fall can lead to fractures, hospital stays, or even a loss of independence. But here's the good news. You can take steps to strengthen your bones, improve your balance, and lower your risk of falling. And it starts with something as simple as what's on your plate. Welcome back to Daily Health, your go-to channel for practical, science-backed tips to live your healthiest life at any age. I'm your host, and today we're diving into a topic that could be a game-changer for seniors: the top 8 foods to prevent falls by strengthening your bones. You might be thinking, can food really make that big a difference? Absolutely. The right nutrients can rebuild bone density, support muscle strength, and even sharpen your balance. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which foods to add to your diet and why they work, so you can feel empowered to stay active and independent. Falls don't just happen because of a slippery floor or a moment of clumsiness. They're often tied to changes in your body as you age. Things like weaker bones, slower reflexes, or even low energy. But food is one of the most powerful tools you have to fight back. Today we'll explore 5 key reasons why certain foods can help prevent falls, each backed by science and paired with practical tips you can start using today. We'll talk about how calcium-rich foods rebuild brittle bones to keep you steady, why vitamin D is your secret weapon for stronger muscles and balance, the role of protein in preserving muscle mass to catch yourself if you trip, how magnesium supports bone flexibility and nerve function, why anti-inflammatory foods can reduce joint pain and improve mobility. Each point will come with a relatable story, actionable advice, and a deeper look at how your body works. So you'll not only know what to eat but understand why it matters. Whether you're watching for yourself or someone you love, this video is packed with insights to help you stay strong and confident. So grab a notebook, settle in, and let's get started on this journey to stronger bones and fewer falls. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you don't miss our weekly tips for aging well. Ready? Let's dive into our first reason. Number 1. Calcium-rich foods rebuild brittle bones. Let's kick things off with the foundation of strong bones, calcium. You've probably heard that calcium is good for your bones, but do you know why it's so critical for preventing falls? As we age, our bones naturally lose density. A condition called osteoporosis can make them brittle and prone to breaking. A minor trip that might have been no big deal in your 40s could lead to a fracture in your 70s. Calcium is like the building block that keeps your bones dense and resilient, so they can withstand the impact of a stumble. It also helps your muscles contract properly, which is key for staying steady on your feet. Here's the science. Your body is constantly breaking down and rebuilding bone tissue. After age 50, that breakdown often outpaces the rebuilding, especially if you're not getting enough calcium. The National Institutes of Health recommends 1,200 milligrams of calcium daily for adults over 65. That's about 3 servings of dairy or fortified foods. Without enough, your bones become porous, like a sponge, increasing your risk of fracture. Foods like yogurt, milk, cheese, kale, and fortified cereals are packed with calcium that your body can absorb easily. Let me share a story about Margaret, 68, a retired teacher. Margaret loved her daily walks with her dog, but she started noticing her knees felt wobbly, and she was hesitant to step over curbs. After a scary near fall, she visited her doctor, who found her bone density was low due to years of skipping dairy. She'd always thought it was fattening. Her doctor recommended adding calcium-rich foods like Greek yogurt and leafy greens to her diet. Within months, Margaret felt stronger, and her bone density scans showed improvement. She's back to her walks feeling confident again. So how can you get more calcium? Start your day with a bowl of fortified oatmeal made with milk or a smoothie blended with kale and yogurt. Snack on a handful of almonds or a slice of cheddar cheese. If dairy doesn't agree with you, try fortified plant-based milks or canned sardines. Yes, the bones are edible and loaded with calcium. Aim for 3 servings a day and pair them with vitamin D, which we'll talk about next, to boost absorption. If you're unsure about your intake, talk to your doctor about a supplement. But food is always the best first step. Does this sound like something you could try? Maybe you're already eating some of these foods, or maybe you're realizing you need a boost. Share your favorite calcium-rich food in the comments. I'd love to hear. And if you haven't subscribed, hit that button and turn on the bell. Let's move on to our next reason. Number 2. Vitamin D for stronger muscles and balance. Now that we've covered calcium, let's talk about its partner in crime, vitamin D. You might know vitamin D as the sunshine vitamin, but it's also a powerhouse for preventing falls. Because it does more than just help your bones. It strengthens your muscles and sharpens your balance. Falls often happen when your muscles can't react quickly enough to catch you, or when your sense of balance is off. Vitamin D helps both, making it a must-have for staying steady. Here's how it works. Vitamin D helps your body absorb calcium, so your bones stay strong, but it also acts like a coach for your muscles, improving their strength and coordination. Studies, like one from the Journal of the American Geriatric Society, show that seniors with low vitamin D levels are up to twice as likely to fall. Your nerves rely on vitamin D2 to send signals that keep you balanced. Adults over 65 need at least 801,000 IU of vitamin D daily, but many of us don't get enough, especially in winter or if we spend most of our time indoors. Let's meet Harold, 72, a retired mechanic. Harold used to love gardening, but he started feeling unsteady, especially when bending down. He tripped once and barely caught himself, which shook his confidence. Blood tests showed he was deficient in vitamin D. He rarely went outside and his diet lacked fortified foods. His doctor suggested adding foods like salmon, egg yolks, and fortified orange juice, plus a short daily walk in the sun. 6 months later, Harold's muscle strength improved and he felt steadier. He's back to tending his roses, no longer afraid of falling. So how can you boost your vitamin D? Fatty fish like salmon or mackerel are fantastic. Try grilling a salmon fillet for dinner. Egg yolks are an easy add to breakfast, and fortified milk or orange juice can round out your day. If you can, spend 10-15 minutes in the sun a few times a week, exposing your arms and face, but don't forget sunscreen after that. If you're low, a supplement might help, but check with your doctor first. Have you checked your vitamin D levels lately? Maybe Harold's story reminds you of someone you know. Drop a comment with your thoughts or a vitamin D food you love. And if you haven't subscribed, hit that button and turn on the bell. Let's dive into our next point. Number 3, protein to preserve muscle mass. Alright, we've got strong bones and better balance. Now let's talk about protein, the key to keeping your muscles strong enough to catch you if you trip. As we age, we naturally lose muscle mass, a condition called sarcopenia. This makes it harder to recover from a stumble or even stand up from a chair. Protein is like fuel for your muscles, helping you maintain strength and coordination to prevent falls. Here's the science. After age 65, your body is less efficient at using protein to repair and build muscle. Without enough, your muscles weaken, increasing your fall risk. A study in the Journal of Nutrition found that seniors who eat adequate protein, about 1 to 1.2 grams per kilogram of body weight daily, have better muscle mass and lower fall rate. For a 50-pound person, that's about 68-82 grams of protein a day. Foods like chicken, eggs, beans, tofu, and Greek yogurt are protein powerhouses. Let's look at Susan, 70, a retired librarian. Susan loved ballroom dancing, but she noticed her legs felt weaker and she tripped during a spin, nearly falling. Her doctor explained that her low-protein diet, mostly salads and carbs, wasn't supporting her muscles. Susan started adding protein-rich foods like grilled chicken, lentils, and Greek yogurt to her meals. She also joined a gentle strength training class. Within months, her legs felt stronger, and she was back to dancing with confidence. So how can you get enough protein? Aim for a protein source at every meal. Try scrambled eggs or a tofu scramble for breakfast, a bean salad or turkey wrap for lunch, and grilled fish or chicken for dinner. Snacks like Greek yogurt or a handful of nuts count too. Spread your protein intake throughout the day to maximize muscle repair. If you're vegetarian, combine beans and rice or hummus with whole grain crackers for complete proteins. Does Susan's story sound familiar? Are you getting enough protein in your day? Share your go-to protein source in the comments. I'm curious, and if you haven't subscribed, hit that button and turn on the bell. Let's move to our next reason. Number 4. Magnesium for bone flexibility and nerve function. Next up, let's talk about a nutrient that doesn't get enough love. Magnesium. You might not hear about it as often as calcium, but magnesium is a quiet hero for preventing fall. It helps your bones stay flexible, supports your nerves, and keeps your muscles working smoothly, all critical for staying steady on your feet. Here's why it matters. Magnesium works with calcium to keep your bones strong, but not brittle. Think of your bones like a tree branch. Calcium makes them hard, but magnesium keeps them flexible so they don't snap under pressure. Magnesium also helps your nerves communicate with your muscles, which is essential for quick reflexes to avoid a fall. A study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that low magnesium levels are linked to weaker grip strength and higher fall risk. Adults over 65 need about 320-420 milligrams daily, but many diets fall short. Let's meet Robert, 74, a retired accountant. Robert loved golfing, but he started feeling stiff and unsteady on the course. After a trip that bruised his knee, he learned his magnesium levels were low. He rarely ate nuts or greens, relying on processed food. His doctor suggested adding magnesium-rich foods like spinach, almonds, and whole grains. Robert started eating a spinach salad with lunch and snacking on almonds. He also added a short stretching routine. Soon he felt more limber and confident swinging his club. So how can you boost magnesium? Add a handful of almonds or pumpkin seeds to your snack routine. Toss spinach or Swiss chard into soups or smoothies. Whole grains like quinoa or brown rice are great for dinner. If you love chocolate, a square of dark chocolate, 70% or higher, has a magnesium boost too. Aim for a variety of sources to hit your daily goal. Have you tried any magnesium-rich foods lately? Maybe Robert's golf game inspires you. Drop a comment with your thoughts. And if you haven't subscribed, hit that button and turn on the bell. Let's dive into our final point. Number 5. Anti-inflammatory foods for joint pain and mobility. Finally, let's talk about anti-inflammatory foods. Your secret weapon for reducing joint pain and improving mobility. If your joints ache or feel stiff, it's harder to move confidently, and that can increase your risk of falling. Foods that fight inflammation can keep your joints flexible and your body moving smoothly, so you're less likely to trip or lose your balance. Here's the science. Inflammation in your joints, often from aging or conditions like arthritis, can cause pain and stiffness. This makes it harder to walk steadily or react to a stumble. Anti-inflammatory foods, rich in omega-3s, antioxidants, and fiber, can reduce that inflammation, easing pain and improving mobility. A study in the journal Arthritis Care and Research found that diets high in anti-inflammatory foods like fatty fish, berries, and olive oil are linked to better joint health and fewer falls. Let's meet Linda, 69, a retired nurse. Linda loved knitting, but her stiff, achy knees made it hard to walk to her knitting group without fear of tripping. She relied on processed snacks and sugary drinks, which fueled inflammation. Her nutritionist suggested swapping those for anti-inflammatory foods like salmon, blueberries, and walnuts. Linda started eating a berry smoothie for breakfast and using olive oil in her cooking. She also added gentle yoga to her routine. Within weeks, her knee pain eased, and she walked more confidently to her group. So how can you eat anti-inflammatory? Add fatty fish like salmon or sardines to your week. Try them baked with herbs. Snack on berries or toss them into yogurt. Use olive oil instead of butter for cooking, and sprinkle walnuts on salads. Spices like turmeric and ginger can help too. Try a turmeric tea or ginger in stir-fries. Aim for colorful fruits and veggies daily to maximize antioxidants. Does Linda's story resonate with you? Are you ready to try some anti-inflammatory foods? Share your favorite in the comments, and if you haven't subscribed, hit that button and turn on the bell. Let's take a moment to recap the 5 key reasons why the right foods can help prevent falls and keep you strong as you age. First, we talked about calcium-rich foods like yogurt and kale, which rebuild brittle bones to make them resilient. Then we explored vitamin D from salmon and sunlight, strengthening your muscles and balance. Next, we dove into protein from chicken and beans, preserving muscle mass to catch you if you stumble. We also covered magnesium in spinach and almonds, keeping your bones flexible and nerves sharp. Finally, we looked at anti-inflammatory foods like berries and olive oil, reducing joint pain for better mobility. Each of these foods is like a tool in your toolbox, helping you build a stronger, steadier body. What stood out to you today? Maybe it's Margaret's story of regaining confidence with calcium, or Harold's return to gardening with vitamin D, or perhaps you're inspired to try a new food, like Linda's berry smoothie. The beauty of this approach is that it's not about drastic changes. It's about small, consistent choices that add up to big results. You have the power to take control of your health, one bite at a time. So here's my challenge for you. Pick one food from today's video, maybe Greek yogurt, salmon, or a handful of almonds, and add it to your week. Notice how you feel. Do you have more energy? Feel a bit steadier? Share your experience in the comments. I'd love to hear what you try and how it goes. And if you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button with the bell so you don't miss our next video. We're diving into more ways to stay active and healthy as you age, and I can't wait to share it with you. Before we go, let's reflect. What's one thing you learned today or plan to try? Maybe it's checking your vitamin D levels or adding spinach to your smoothie. Drop it in the comments. Your ideas might inspire someone else. Thank you so much for watching and being part of the daily health community. You're taking steps to live stronger and healthier, and that's something to celebrate. Stay safe, stay strong, and I'll see you in the next video.